Jeff Robb Show on AM 1490 WDEQ.
And I also wanted to mention that those of you tuning in right now to AM 1490 WDBQ to hear the Cubs pregame, we will not have a pregame for you, but we will have the game starting at 7:10 against the Milwaukee Brewers, who will not be going to the playoffs again this season. I got a couple buddies, especially the Brewer brothers. You guys are listening right now. Definitely in my thoughts, because I know it's been a rough week there. They're Brewers fans and they're Redskins fans. Ouch. All right. So I got that. John didn't have too much to add. What's that? That hurt. That does hurt. I know it does. It does. But you know what? I'm accustomed to it, being that I cheer for teams in Loserville, USA, up in Minneapolis. So, all right. We got Dan Lehv, Dubuque Fighting Saints team president, joining me right now here inside TPC Sports Bar. Again, we do encourage you to stop by and you can get here to win some Dubuque Fighting Saints tickets in the Mystique Casino Suite. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Dan, first of all, thank you for joining us here tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. I was under the impression I was here to speak about my New York Football Giants and a big win over the Redskins last night.
You know, I was telling him earlier, I said it's a good thing that this show wasn't last night before the game, because I was about ready to question whether the Giants are the worst team in the NFL.
We're close. We were until last night. I thought we were, and then we put up 45 points. We are an interesting team, to say the least.
Yeah, well, maybe we can go with maybe mercurial. Would that be good?
You know, I was worried about last night because we didn't get to face Ryan Fitzpatrick for the second week in a row. But Kirk Cousins, unfortunately, for the Redskins fans, lived up to Ryan Fitzpatrick more with his performance last night.
Ryan Fitzpatrick out of Harvard has been making defenses look good now for about 10 years. So, okay. All right, Dan, the Fighting Saints wrapped up their preseason schedule last Saturday in Green Bay. They kick off the regular season tomorrow night in Cedar Rapids against the Rough Riders. How exciting is this?
It's our favorite time of the year, obviously, when we get to play for real. And we had a terrific preseason, 6-0-1 for the Fighting Saints, our first undefeated preseason in club history.
Very nice.
And this is a team that comes off of a very successful year last year, making it to the conference finals. We beat Cedar Rapids in the conference semifinals before losing to Indiana in 3 games. Indiana went on to win the Clark Cup in our league. So tomorrow night we start on the road. It'll be a great matchup. Fighting Saints fans, they travel.
Yeah, and that's great.
In droves. So there'll be a lot of red and white in the building tomorrow night. And we expect a terrific matchup with the Rough Riders. So we start on the road in Cedar Rapids, then at Waterloo next Friday, and then the big home opener coming up a week from Saturday, October 4th here in Dubuque.
Great. And real quickly, I want you to just kind of take us up and down the roster and familiarize casual Dubuque Fighting Saints fans with any notable additions this past offseason.
You know, you look at a junior hockey team, and that's what we are, the best 16 to 20-year-olds playing in the United States, and that roster is going to turn over pretty much every year because the players are advancing to college. That's the goal. 99% of the players who play in our league advance to college. We have the luxury this year of having 7 players back from last year's club, and 7 impact players. Our goalie, Kevin Reich, returns, Seamus Malone, Dylan Gambrell, Brett Bowen, Jacob Benson, some of the names that our fans have come to know and love up front, Blake Gilman on the blue line. So a strong core of 7 players coming back, and as you mentioned, the new additions that fans should be aware of. 2 right off the bat, the Smith brothers, Mitchell and Evan Smith, a pair of twins from the Toronto area up in Canada. They're destined to go to Yale next year, and they're playing in our league. 2 high-flying players. They actually remind you of the Hanson brothers out there when you see them on the ice. But they'll be impact players for us, and they're exciting to watch. JD Dudek, number 15, for those fans who attended our preseason game, saw this guy, an incredibly talented scorer who will provide some excitement offensively. And then the guy you can't miss on the blue line, he's a Swedish player. He's about 6, well to me he's about 6'10", 6'11" on skates. He's probably 6'5", William Lagesson, a defenseman for us. He was drafted by the Edmonton Oilers in this past year's NHL draft, so he's property of the Edmonton Oilers, playing for the Dubuque Fighting Saints this year. Those are some of the new players to watch for the Fighting Saints.
You know, I think that's so cool too, because I got a few buddies who are just avid Dubuque Fighting Saints fans, and I think it's so cool the way that they follow them beyond the Fighting Saints and their career here in Dubuque, and as they progress follow them on Twitter, and they just give them shout-outs anytime they perform well, either at the collegiate level or even later on in the NHL level.
It's been unbelievable. We have a track record now, not only of sending players to college, but we have 2 players that played here in Dubuque in the last 4 years who are now in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Zemgus Girgensons was Buffalo's Rookie of the Year last year. He scored a goal in his first NHL game. Johnny Gaudreau won the Hobie Baker Award, which is kind of the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy for college hockey. Won that with Boston College, won a national championship, went on, signed with the Calgary Flames 2 days after he won the Hobie Baker. He scored a goal in his first NHL game for the Calgary Flames. So we're 2 for 2. Guys going to the NHL and scoring a goal in their first game.
It shouldn't be that shocking, though, for Fighting Saints fans that you guys have put out that much talent, being the success that you guys have had here over the years.
We've been very fortunate. We have a great coaching staff. Our coach, our general manager, Matt Shaw, and before him, Jim Montgomery, doing a terrific job assembling the team. And not a lot of people know we have scouts throughout the country who are battling. We're recruiting for the best players. And Dubuque has become such an attractive destination for junior hockey players because of the incredible facility we have in the Steve Community Ice Center, because of the great fans, because of the billet families, the housing families who take the kids in, because of Dubuque Senior High School, the education that the players get when they're here. All of this has combined to allow us to bring in the best talent, and it's shown with the success that we've had on the ice, making the playoffs for 4 consecutive years. We have the most home wins in the league over the last 4 years. And there's a reason for that, and it's because Dubuque is a great place to play.
Do you have anything you want to add, John?
Yeah, I was wondering, who's the Saints' rival in the league? Is there one?
Really 2, and that's Cedar Rapids and Waterloo. They're the 2 closest markets to us. We play for the Cowbell Cup every year, the Prairie Farms Cowbell Cup, a rivalry series between Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Waterloo. We played Cedar Rapids now in the playoffs last year, which only added and intensified that rivalry. And this year we're excited to bring Madison into the league. The Madison Capitals just up the road join the United States Hockey League, and that could be another natural rival for us.
And how cool of a destination is that for Fighting Saints fans that want to go on the road, they want to watch a game, they get to go to a really sweet city in Madison, and then drive up there, of course, has gotten so much easier here in the last 10 years.
We do have some input in the scheduling process, and our entire staff was asking us for a Friday or Saturday night game in Madison where we don't play the next day. So I don't know what that means, but they definitely enjoy spending time in Madison, Wisconsin. Absolutely.
There you go. All right. I'm sure internally expectations are high for every USHL team. It's like every team in every sport, where internally you feel like you did the work, you did the due diligence, and you feel confident about the product you're going to put on the ice. But how do others externally view the Fighting Saints and how they stack up against some of the other upper echelon teams?
Very high. The expectations are high always in Dubuque, and I think our fans have come to expect that, not just with the Fighting Saints, but before the Fighting Saints. The Thunderbirds had success. The first incarnation of the Fighting Saints in the 1980s won 3 Clark Cups, so the expectations are high. Externally, we know that. Internally, the expectations are equally high. We expect to compete for a Clark Cup this season. We think that we have a talented enough roster that we're going to be able to compete for that. We're the tougher of the 2 conferences, too. The Eastern Conference is much tougher than the Western Conference. We just went to the Fall Classic up in Green Bay. That's where the entire Eastern Conference gets together. And we heard it from scouts, we heard it from collegiate coaches, that we're going to be in a really talented conference, really facing off against some teams on any given night that can win. And that's the best thing about this league. There's so much talent in this league. But we expect to win, and we expect to be back in the playoffs competing for a Clark Cup championship.
And parity in the East, as you mentioned, is definitely appealing as far as, from a fan standpoint. Again, this is Dan Lehv, team president, Dubuque Fighting Saints. John?
Dan, what are some of the cool promotions you have coming up? And with the twin brothers, will there be a slap shot night?
There should be. There absolutely should be, and we'll work on that very quickly. We've got to get the glasses exactly right. But some big promotions coming up. We start with opening night next Saturday night. A pregame tailgate from 5 to 7 outside the rink. Opening night presented by our presenting sponsor, American Trust. A magnetic schedule giveaway as well. For Saved by the Bell fans, the 25th anniversary, we celebrate that on October 17th. We will have, thank you for the applause here, we will have both a Zach Screech and I believe an AC Slater in attendance that night. So big time on October 17th. Pick the Ring is always a big one. Our fight against breast cancer with Finley Hospital, the Webb Regional Cancer Center on October 25th, and some other big ones. We have just after Thanksgiving. If you're hanging out with the family looking for something to do, we have a replica jersey for kids coming up on the 29th of November. You can get all the promotions at DubuqueFightingSaints.com. I am excited as well. We're doing a Game of Thrones night later in the year. It's actually all about the toilet. So Game of Thrones night about that particular throne. We're doing a toilet paper drive, and it will be a blast.
As long as Hodor isn't showing up.
Exactly right. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have our own Iron Throne, more the porcelain throne, but it'll be a lot.
We'll have to talk about that off the air because hopefully we can tie in the radio station to one of the upcoming promotions. That one sounds like a lot of fun. You alluded to DubuqueFightingSaints.com, the website. Where do people go, again, to get ticket information? They go to the website, obviously. Are you guys on social media, Twitter, all that good stuff?
We are on we're everywhere on social media.
You are.
Facebook, over 9,400 people like us on Facebook, so join the conversation. Twitter as well. You can follow us, fighting_Saints on Twitter. Instagram, we show up there as well. So in all the social media, you can follow us. DubuqueFightingSaints.com, always a great way to get tickets. Check ticket availability. You can choose your own seat. Give us a call at 563-583-6880. Can't stress enough. Grab those tickets for opening night. It's going to be all the pomp and circumstance. Plus, you can see all the enhancements we made during the off-season. That's the best thing about walking in on opening night. Not only do you see the great product on the ice, but the changes we've made to the DB&T Club, the Hall of Champions, which tells the story of Dubuque's hockey history, a new bounce house in the kids zone, new promotions between periods and during TV timeouts. It's going to be a blast. Next Saturday night, October 4th, you need to get your tickets for the Dubuque Fighting Saints. And one big thing that happened this offseason that we can't wait for, and that's January 13th, we get to host the USHL's NHL Top Prospects game. The top players in our league that are draft eligible are all coming to Dubuque. It's pretty much an all-star game in Dubuque on January 13th, and we get the pleasure of hosting this big event.
What's the ticket situation for that event?
Individual tickets will go on sale in November 18th for that Prospects game. But before then, you can grab it as part of a Fighting Saints season ticket package. We have many plans that have started just 6 games that you can include the Prospects game in, or bring out a group, celebrate that holiday late. You know, we like when you celebrate holidays in January with the Fighting Saints. Too much going on in December, so celebrate during the Prospects game in January.
And I have a feeling that is going to attract a lot of interest, obviously not just in Dubuque, but across the country, really. So it's definitely going to be one of those things where you're going to want to get your tickets immediately. And again, you are encouraged to buy a ticket package with the Dubuque Fighting Saints to encourage the opportunity to purchase those tickets or to get those tickets. So, Team President Dan Lehv, Dubuque Fighting Saints Team President, thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to chat next Friday. We'll have you here, same time, same place.
I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you give him a round of applause who are here inside TPC? We appreciate it. And most importantly for you guys listening right now is we're going to have your chance to win some tickets for a suite for the upcoming Dubuque Fighting Saints Muskegon Lumberjacks game. That is on November 26th, the night before Thanksgiving. Exactly. So we're going to have your chance to do that. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We're inside TPC Sports Bar, Mesquite Casino. It's the Jeff Robb Show on AM 1490 WDBQ.